I lived in a touristy area of Shanghai called Yuyan Gardens, famous for its market which sells like fake iPods, Chinese antiques and tacky Chairman Mao t-shirts. Once walking through the market on the way to meet my girlfriend, I noticed a young guy selling Goldfish bowl keychains, and on further inspection the miniature plastic balls actually contained real goldfish. Even in 2 years in China I'd never seen such a thing, so I had to find a way to show people. I took a picture at first, not wanting to encourage the enterprise and compromise my morals by buying such a thing. Unfortunately, the picture didn't truly portray the horrific small dimensions of the keychain, so once I found out the price was around £1, the only thing I could do was buy it. When I showed my girlfriend, she was amused, shocked and intrigued by my unusual lucky charm. Like kids, we flicked and shook the keychain sporadically throughout the rest of the day. When we got home, I put my keys down on the bedside table and we began to have sex. I'd recently been in the habit of spraying my loads all over her body, and I only tell you that because of what happened next. Immediately after sex, I lay back and looked at the fish keychain. Then I realised it hadn't eaten all day. I turned and looked at my girlfriend doused in my sperm, and had a realisation that, well, big fish eat little fish. I unscrewed the plastic ball and dripped some of my sperm into it. To my surprise, the sperm stuck to the fish as it does your leg in the bath, seemingly trying to swim up the fish's gills, mistaking it for some kind of wet pussy. The goldfish was obviously laboured by the extra weight and swimmers accompanying him. I shook my head in disbelief at what I'd done and went to bed. The next day the water was cloudy and the goldfish was alive, but less energetic. I figured that I was in deep water myself now, so there was no going back. This was my experiment. The sperm fish. I jacked off, dunked another portion of cum in there and went to work. I was working as a kindergarten teacher at the time, and halfway through a lesson it suddenly dawned on me that I was surrounded by 5-year-old kids, and in my bag on the teacher's table was a goldfish swimming around in my spunk. It was probably one of the most debauched realisations I've ever had, although there have been a few. When I got home, I checked on the fish and saw it had died during the journey. I thought about disposing it the only way I knew how and tipped it into the toilet. As I stood over it making my apologies, I realised that I needed a piss and thought that there was no reason to stop humiliating it now it was dead. I took a piss on the fish, but it was the kind of piss where you realise close to the end that you also need a shit. I sat down and took a dump. Before flushing, I looked at the sad cocktail of death and excrement in the toilet pan. It's a combination that I probably would never see again, so I grabbed my camera for a farewell photo shoot and then flushed the chain. The following day I was at school, and the head teacher asked to borrow my camera to take pictures for the school newsletter. I obliged, forgetting the content of my memory card. Later the teacher inserted the SD card into his laptop. I only twigged what I had on my camera when he said, "What's this?" It was too late to answer as the picture of my toilet pan filled the screen. "I had a really dodgy meal last night," I said.